Good morning. This is Kathleen Griffin. Today is Tuesday, March 2nd. It's approximately 10:30 in the morning. This is a morning hearing session of the Board of Assessment Appeals in Room 3. Okay, so if my 10:30 is not here, I can take that 10:45 whenever they're ready to start. Okay, perfect. I don't want to hear it. Hi, sure. How are you? Good. How are you? I'm well, thank you.
So.
Hi. Have a seat.
Okay.
Let's see, we're recording our hearings this year, so I'm just going to read a few things about your hearing into the record. Let me just I have the other person. Great. Are you Shore and Terrace, right? Yes. Pretty brief. Okay, great. So welcome. I'm Kathleen Griffin. I hate the plexiglass. Sorry about that.
You gotta do it.
Let's see. I'm one of 9 members of the Board of Assessment Appeals. I'm here to hear your appeal today. And your hearing is being recorded on the phone right there on the chair, not the one on the desk. That's great. I think as long as you speak, normally it should pick you up. So I'm going to say a few things for the record about your property. Please correct me if any of this is inaccurate. So let's see. Your appeal number is 35. The street address is 43 Shore Terrace. The property owners are Ryan, Scott, Crane, and Costa, looks like. The town has your property appraised at $457,700. You're requesting a reduction to $430,000.
Correct.
Okay, great. And now I'm just going to confirm that you're either the owner of the property or that you're the authorized agent for the property.
Yep, we're both the owners.
You're both the owners. Okay, great. So I'm going to ask for you to state your name for the record.
Yep, Patricia Koscheck.
Ryan Crane.
Okay. And then I'm going to swear you in. So if you could raise your right hand, I'll read you the oath. Okay. Do you solemnly swear in the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm just going to ask you to take that piece of paper that's on the table there and write your appeal number at the top, and then you can both sign one on top of the other, just that you were here, and I can fill in the rest of it for you later if you want. But. Hard to sign on this?
Tablecloth.
I know. Great. And too noisy. That's okay. I don't want to get too hot either. Okay, we'll see. Perfect balance. Okay. I know it's a little tight in this room. Okay. So this is your opportunity to provide testimony as to why you believe the market value of your home on October 1st, 2020 was $430,000 and not the value of $457,700 that the town placed on your property. Market value is what your home most likely would have sold for on that date. Right. Please try to be as succinct as possible.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Do you have the documents that we submitted?
I do. I've got your folder here, so
because there's an Excel document that, a spreadsheet will help because I'm just going to read
You're going to
the
go
bottom
through
of
the
that.
spreadsheet?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And I'm going to take some notes too while you
Great.
talk. Let me just, yeah.
Sure.
You're my first one this year. I've done this for 3 or 4
This
years.
is our first time ever doing it.
Is
So.
it? Okay, good. I've done it other years, but it still takes a bit to get into the rhythm. So.
Great.
Okay.
All right, so in 2015, our home, 43 Shoreham Terrace, and our neighbor's home, 51 Shoreham Terrace, were appraised at only a $560 difference. Our home and 51 Shoreham Terrace are the most comparable of all the ones that are listed. However, our appraisal increased 4% more than 51 Shoreham in 2020. Both homes were owned by the previous owners from 2015 to 2020, and to our knowledge, each made minimal updates. In addition, the garage listed on our property burned down many years ago, so it shouldn't have even been listed on the 2015 appraisal. As 51 Shoreham Terrace does have a garage, I believe that 43 Shoreham Terrace should be appraised at the same price as 51 Shoreham Terrace, minus the garage, which is how we got to our proposed appraisal of $430 with the assessment of 301.
Okay, so it's primarily 51 Shoreham is the one that you're...
Yeah,
Okay.
and then the other ones, just because there were several houses on our exact street that changed hands.
And 51 Shoreham sold for $490
Yes.
on, let's see, what date?
I think it was July.
Yeah, it's the summer.
July of 2020?
Yeah.
Oh.
I believe so, yeah.
And
I also have these are in the
during the packet. Okay.
packet too. July 2nd.
Okay. And it sold for $490, and your houses are pretty similar, but they have a garage and you do
Right,
not.
and her appraisal is lower. However, in 2015, the difference is only $560.
And then you also provide some other
Yeah,
comparable
so
sales. Okay.
56 Shoreham is directly across the street from us. It was also purchased in 2020 June,
Okay.
and it is appraised less than our home, but it has an additional bedroom and it's an attached garage as well. So the street is just kind of wonky.
It's one of my favorite streets. So
It is a great street. We really like it.
We
just
have to
moved there.
cross too. Yeah, just be careful crossing the post road there.
Yeah,
yeah, there's
exactly.
a lot of very nice over there.
And then then 110 Shoreham was, it's a piece of land that recently sold. That date was, they're building, yeah, that's the one that they're building currently. So that sold in, I guess technically, February of 2019. So I don't know if it really fits in everything, but.
And when did you purchase yours?
March 30th of 2020.
It's a Thursday close.
No, March 30th.
Oh.
Steve's birthday.
Oh, right. Okay.
You paid $450 for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And quality-wise, between your house and the one at 51 Shoreham, you would say that they are
Comparable.
Yeah.
comparable inside
Yes.
and all of that? Okay, comparable age. Okay. And does your field card show that you have a garage, or does
Yes.
it show that the garage is gone?
It does show that we have a garage.
Okay, so we're going to let Beth, so
Which I noted during the informal hearing in 2020, but nothing was updated at all on the website. And when we received our follow-up notice, it just stated that everything remained the same.
Yeah, you know, funny, I had a correction on my card and it wasn't made
So interesting.
during the informal. So I
Yeah.
called down and they made it, they came and visited the house and did it afterwards. So I'm going to make a request to them, left the request forms in the other room. I'm going to request for them to come and either take a look at your phone, or at your property, or call you,
Sure.
just to confirm that the garage is gone. Did
Yeah.
you hear it was torn down when you bought it?
No, it burned down years ago. I don't know when.
Huh.
But our card says that we have a shed and a garage, but we only have a shed.
Okay.
So I have no idea how long the previous owners
Or paid tax on their garage. Yeah, sometimes that's unfortunate, and people just don't, you know, if you don't correct it or look at your cards. So this is, you know, it's good that you're going through that. And
Yeah. So the 110 Shoreham is actually appraised at less than our home, even though it's going to have double the square footage, more bedrooms, more bathrooms, and costly extra features such as an elevator and a generator.
It's huge.
It's going to be very big. And ours, even, so I don't know how it works technically because it's still under construction.
Right, so I don't know if you looked at, the field cards are online now, where you can actually see the whole property card. It looks a little bit different, yeah, it goes horizontal and it shows you a lot. It's not like this, but in the upper right on vision there, you can click on the button and it'll tell us the card. So someplace on there, usually under the house, it will show you percent complete.
Yeah, that's 10%.
Yeah, 10%.
And I have that noted on here.
Right, so they're being taxed on 10% of their, whatever they pulled for a building permit or what the estimated values would be. So that's why they're so low.
So this number is only 10% of what they're proposing?
Probably, yeah. Or in other words, the assessor's office, not necessarily number, but the assessor's office is saying it's only 10% complete. Like if it was a vacant lot, it's not worth nothing because you still have land, right? The land has a value, but they're saying the construction of the house.
So then theoretically in 5 years, that would be a $4.3 million home?
It wouldn't go up in that percentage. You'd have to ask the assessor's office. I don't know how they calculate the price versus percent complete.
Right.
They may front load it and say, okay, if you're 10% complete, but that means you have a foundation and walls, they're going to tax you a lot more than when you add the sheet rock, the things that cost.
And so do you know if that's what they're going to be taxed at for the next 5 years, or
No,
as it increases?
So if you put a garage on your property, they would increase your tax, right? They would increase your assessment. So just for them. That 10% will eventually go to 100%, and then they'll be at their value.
Okay. Well, I mean, even though I'm not when I look at it and it tells me that this house is worth is assessed at $18,000 less than my home, it's kind of jarring.
It is.
And so,
no worries, they'll pay. They'll pay. I've driven by. It's pretty nice looking over there.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah, you bought your house in the last year. You also have another house that sold very similar to yours.
No, this is our first home.
That's what I'm saying, but you bought it this year. You bought it in 2020.
At the neighbor's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have a sale in 2020.
Yeah.
You purchased it in March of 2020, right? The neighbor one sold in July of 2020.
Yeah.
Right.
So those are two sales that kind of tell us the market value of your property. Okay, great. I have enough information from you.
Great.
Do you have anything else you want to share? Okay, great. So I'm just going to say that I will be presenting your petition to a majority of the board at a deliberation session for consideration and vote. You will be notified by mail of the board's decision within 7 days of the decision. All decisions will be made in March. If your appeal is denied, you can come back next year. If you were granted a reduction, whether it's a full reduction or partial, you cannot appeal again until the next reval in 5 years. If you don't agree with the board's decision, you can take the next step and appeal your decision in court. Instructions on how to appeal in court will be in your decision letter.
Great.
So if you don't have anything else, you are good to go.
Sure.
And we appreciate you coming in. And like I said, I'm going to contact the assessor's office and have them, and I don't know if they'll call you to tell you that they take the garage off, but they'll probably drive by, take a look.
Yeah.
And then the card that looks like this online, that gets updated weekly. So,
great.
And they may send, I don't remember exactly what they do, but they may send you a notice.
Perfect.
As well. So.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Enjoy your new home. You're
Thank
in
you.
a great space over there. And I'll probably see you at the restaurant because I live about a half a mile from there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good luck with all the rest of the day.
Oh, thanks. I know. It'll be a busy day.
You moved, Stephanie?
Yes, because I didn't change the signs on the doors. It's super noisy between the two rooms, like it's as if Judy's talking in that room. Really? Yeah, it's super loud. He's been sitting there for a hearing. So I called James Ryan and asked him to see if he could put insulation, cloth, something between the two rooms to see if we could make them quieter. If not,
Right, because that's a wall. Now,
there's
did
a
you move the
door.
phone?
There's a door. No, I'm not going to move the phone. I'm going to move the sign.
You know, my question is, I got one guy who's got 4 fields. I'm going to swear him and I'm going to do each one separately, swear him and separately.
You can just do one and copy the square sheet.
Is that
You don't need to
okay?
repeat.
Well,
Most of
really
the
fine. I don't have to do it as a separate.
No, you would really appeal it to the record and have him, you know, or if he wants to.
For the record,
Yeah.
Mr. Boswell has already been sworn in.
Yeah.
And,
And I mean, at most, we'll take a
I'm
copy of
afraid
the,
you're all going to work together if I don't do that.
yeah, or we'll just take a copy of that square sheet, we'll put it in the file.
All right, so somebody will do that. I don't need to do that for
Well, we won't know, that's the thing.
So see, the copier's right here.
Yeah, I would, if you can do, if you could do that, because otherwise we won't know.
Okay. And who's going to be able to do it?
Yeah.
No, we don't want anybody else. So, yeah, so I just wasn't like, so I didn't really do that, but it needs to be separate from the final or not.
So I don't want.
Whatever you've got, I'm going to make multiple copies for
We
you.
have to make multiple copies, just make sure that all the two numbers are on, that has to.
Right, and I'm going to do a little note for each property. Yeah, that's better.
So the notes are all the same, all, I mean, three copies are all.
So I'll just do one national information, copy it a couple times, and then
If you do one copy of CNN.
Oh, no, I got it. I'll get it.
So then we just need to make sure that if you add anything to the file, we need to know how you do it.
Yeah, so it's going to be real obvious. So these are like, anything that you bring into this. Oh, okay. I got stuff that somebody brought in today. That wall has to be. Oh, okay. I better love this one.
Mike is working on correctly.
I don't know about permanency, but I mean, I've only got 2 more this morning, so.
Hi there, how are you?
Okay. Right, that's the part we're about. Kathleen, I got a quick question. So I'm looking at his application, and he put his number in, and he put his number in. I remember seeing that application. I don't think I should like, but get it back in and put that number in.
If it comes out,
Yes.
I don't feel if that's required by statute or not.
Because it's a good thing, and if it is required, I want him to be perfect like this.
Yeah, I would just have it.
I want him to do it, I want to touch it.
Yeah, just make sure it's correct. If you got a reduction, sometimes they don't know. You can look it up online.
Well, when do you know if you got a reduction rate?
You should know what the value is.
Oh, we know, you obtained a vision appraisal. Whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
have them write it in. All right. And just note it on your sheet.
It's going to be an article anyway.
Yes, you have it, so that's what I'm trying to figure out. I appreciate that. There's a couple things that are statute required, remember that's one of them. Yep, I know the value is. I was wondering if a couple of carols were phone calls. Two burned out yet, right? 'Cause this is the first one I was on the news call, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to go like 7 days a week for like 8 hours a day. We do. We have 9 people this year who have a seat, but it's still, it will be 650.
Great.
It's a lot.
So I also have, today is about the dwelling, tomorrow is about the land. I brought an affidavit. He didn't sign it because I wasn't sure if he needed to sign it in front of somebody.
Okay,
So,
yeah, that's okay. We can do it here. I mean, I'm not a notary, but I think that, I'm obviously.
They said on the phone that they don't need a notary.
We don't, okay.
okay. So you're here for 20, I just want to make sure I have the right folder, 29 new.
Yes, right. Okay, great. So, we are recording the hearings here, so.
Can I take this down or no? Or no?
I don't know what the policy is in town hall, I guess, from downstairs.
Okay, then we'll
Yeah.
have to-
Yeah, so this is recording you, so as long as you kind of speak, slowly or
Okay.
clearly or whatever, that'd be good. So, I'm Kathleen Griffin, I'm one of 9 members on the Board of Assessment Appeals. I'm going to hear your appeal today, and as I said, your appeal is being recorded. I'm going to say a few things for the record.
Okay.
Let's see. We got to work on the typing, these are way too small. Okay, so, your appeal number, and just correct me if any of this is wrong, your appeal number is 571. Your property is 29 Newton Street. The owner of the property is Denise Collins. The town has your value at $914,400. You wish to have your value reduced to $643,100.
That's what I put on the
On the sheet.
realistically, obviously not, but, so,
Okay, and then, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to swear you in.
Oh,
So I just want you to state your name for the record and confirm that you are the owner or the agent authorized to represent the property. So.
yes, my name is Denise Collins, and I am the owner of 29 Newton Street.
Okay, and are
This
you
is my
gonna speak-
husband.
Peter Collins, and
And you're going to speak as well. Okay, that's fine.
probably not.
Probably not. Okay.
You're the support
Okay,
factor.
so let me just make sure I got the right time. It's 11:30. The information. Okay, great. And then I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand. I'm going to swear you in. Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, great. So there's a piece of paper, if you just want to grab one of those guys there, put your appeal number at the top, which is number 571, and then you can just sign the first line, and I can take care of, if you want to date it, that's fine, but I need to sign it on the bottom after you leave.
Okay.
Yeah, and if he's here, you might as well have him sign it too. Since,
Okay.
besides, he wants to say something on.
Right, okay.
Okay.
So do I speak?
Yeah, so now is
Okay.
really the opportunity for you to provide your testimony as to why you believe the market value on your home is, the value that you requested and not the value that the town assigned. Okay. Market value, as you may know, is what your home most likely would have sold for on October 1st. So please try to make your case as succinctly as possible.
Thank you so much. And I'm assuming that you've reviewed my file.
I looked at it,
Okay.
a little bit.
Great.
Yep.
So,
I got a lot. I've got 80, but
Okay.
I did review it.
okay. I'm really here mostly because of the two comparables. One maybe 4 houses down, one 3 houses down.
Excuse me for interrupting.
Sure, Harold.
My next hearing is a telephone hearing.
Mm-hmm.
I do that from the A phone.
No. The A phone is the microphone that's recording your thing, so you don't touch the A phone. Do it from the one that's on your desk, right? Just make sure you press 9 so you get an outside line and make sure they're on speaker.
That's 2.
Does that make sense? Okay. I know, we got to put those instructions on a separate keyboard.
So,
Again, everybody get it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
that's okay, no. So really what I'm here is to seek a fair and equitable adjustment closer to the 2 houses, or some explanation as to how the assessments are so dramatically lower than my house at 29 Newton Street. So 29 Newton was built in 2015 for the purpose, because we only have 15 minutes, and I picked 99 Cambridge. You have all the backup for
I do.
for 88 Newton.
So here, I'm looking at it online as well.
99 Cambridge was also built in 2015. The houses by design were very similar, with major differences. I would say in favor of 99 Cambridge. We have slightly more square footage on the card, even though when 99 Cambridge was on the market in 2019, it listed its square footage at roughly 400 square feet, more than is on the vision card. So 99 Cambridge, if you looked at it, you reviewed the real estate listing, which cited custom-built colonial, custom kitchen, heated stone countertops, 2 built-in refrigerators, 36-inch stainless steel Bertazzoni gas range, a coffee bar, toasty heated floors throughout the first floor, family room with fireplace, fourth bedroom, full bathroom, walk-in closets, bonus rooms, attention to detail, nothing overlooked. So when you look at, and 99 Cambridge, by the way, sold for $900,000 on June 3rd, 2019. Now, I know that that's
that
not...
figure was what, 900,000?
900, exactly.
In June of 2019.
Correct. And even though that's not the 10-1 to 10-119 to 10-120, it does still fall within 2019, which is the extended period. So, you know, we did, in the time of COVID, we put in so many applications for loans this year, and they always say, what do you assess your house at? And I always say 900,000, and I use this as a good comp, even though they have more amenities than we have. They have a bigger lot than we have. They have more bedrooms than we have. They have more bathrooms than we have. And, you know, so kind of in the world of town hall assessments, mine should appraise for under 900,000. Like, if I'm accurate, you know, mine should appraise for somewhere under 900,000, and that's kind of where we're looking.
Right. Do you think that their property is correct in the town record?
No, I think that's why I'm not going to really ask you to do it at a 643. But I think it just hurts a little bit because very little background. We moved from New York City 5 years ago. When we moved, the house was never on the market. So our house never kind of felt fair market value. We were desperate. We looked at like 200 houses, so we overpaid. And it was literally like minutes before the 2015 assessment. So we got super dinged for 2015, and we do appreciate that it was lowered a tiny bit for 2020, but we're seeking a more equitable.
So you came down in 2020
we did,
a little bit because
after the informal hearing, which, you know, we're very happy about, but we just still kind of want this worked out. So if you look at the three properties that make the most sense, and if you see the pictures, 88 Newton was a tear down in 2010. I think part of the tricky wicket here is that both 99 Cambridge and 88 Newton are listed as built in 1951. You know, we now know the trick. You don't demo, you literally peel the house down one by one, piece by piece. So both of these houses are beautiful houses. They've both been rebuilt. They both have amenities that 29 Newton Street does not have. We have absolutely zero depreciation on ours. We have 100% good on construction. Our grade of construction is higher than these two properties. That's where I'm kind of looking like it just doesn't make sense when you look at that.
Okay.
So this is really all about the dwelling versus the land, which we'll be discussing tomorrow if we get you again. And when you see 99 Cambridge, you know, with a market appraisal at $643,100, when it sold for $900,000 last, you know, a year ago, basically, a year and a half ago, it just doesn't make sense. And even 88 Newton, and by the way, 99 Cambridge is also, they claim FEMA compliant in their real estate listing, but it's not FEMA compliant on the visiting part. So I don't know how much that comes into account when you make assessments. You could see, even if
you're saying the field card does say they're FEMA compliant.
The field card says they're not.
Oh, it says they're not, but they are. You think they are?
Well, the real estate listing said they are.
Okay.
So I'm not sure you can lie in a real estate listing. You know.
Yes, because I do believe the assessor's office did assign some different values, whether you were FEMA compliant.
Right.
Because it does affect the market value.
Right. So even when you look at Newton Street in general, our appraisal is, granted it's under market value. I took market value off Zillow. I didn't get it. We don't have the money to go get an appraisal and things like that. But, you know, I'm looking for something that's more in line with kind of under appraised value. And then I took a look at the three field cards. And the residential, the land seems to be correct. Both 88 Newton and 99 Cambridge are assessed slightly higher. Both 88 Newton and 99 Cambridge have their construction, their new construction, as additions. And I think, again, this is kind of where things start to become less fair and equitable. Ours, obviously, is new construction. I'm just going to go to the second page of the land cards. I mean, you saw I actually got the pictures of their old houses. There's nothing. So, hang on 2 seconds. And I'm not asking for others to be changed. I'm just asking for ours to be
In line with that.
Exactly. Thank you. Appreciate that. So when you go to the construction detail, 99 Cambridge is a grade 5, 88 is a grade 4, and we're a grade 8. And honestly, based on the pictures, even the interior pictures of 99 Cambridge, I've also been inside 88 Newton because it was on sale. It's a beautiful home. I mean, it definitely has. It's 10 years old now. Mm-hmm. Our house is 5 years old. We have no depreciation, but I know that we need to get our shingles need to get restained. It's like the house needs to be painted
inside. So you're 5 years old. Okay.
Yeah. Our bathroom, kitchen is listed as good. Theirs is listed as average. When 99 Cambridge has 2 refrigerators, heated countertops, and all that jazz. So
you think
It's
that
clearly much more luxurious than ours.
in theirs, but in terms of yours, so are you saying, do you think that the town has you too, that your construction detail is not correct?
I think so, based on the cards of the closest comparables. I mean, look, I don't want to devalue my house, but I don't really know that these are things that come into play when you sell it. Our house is a spec house, which means that the builder built it on speculation that someone's going to want to buy it. So it does have a lot of really nice things. The molding is beautiful, but I don't have tiled walls in my bathroom. Some things are very basic. We only had 1 closet that was finished. Everything else is just a basic, hanger. So
No heated floors.
no heated floors. I wear my slippers. And I just feel that for us to have absolutely no depreciation and 100% good on our house when the others are at 30 depreciation and 70% good, maybe that's a place where where the town might see fit to make a little adjustment.
Even with master bathrooms, one of them we have like a nice enclosed shower, and a lot of them have the tub and the shower separate, which is a nice luxury in case you just don't really take a shower.
They do get extra fixtures for that in the field card. You'll see there's something called extra fixtures.
I mean,
you have them separate. They do get appraised more for that.
Right, but it seems like they didn't with 90. Where is the extra fixtures?
I think it's, let's see, it should be under the construction detail.
Right.
Look on the left-hand side, total half bath, total extra fixtures.
Right, so 99 Cambridge has none.
Right. So what you might want to do is, to understand the card or to understand what happened with your neighbor's card, sometimes we're here pretty much to figure out, is your property correct, right? That's kind of what our goal is. Is your property appraised at market value? Are you being taxed appropriately for you? It's hard when we talk about the neighbors, so perhaps there are things wrong on the neighbor's card that may need to be fixed.
Okay.
So that's sort of, I know it's hard to say, well, I want to be where they are.
Which I'm not. Realistically, I honestly think that they're getting away with it's not tax evasion because you guys are giving the number, but it's certainly not.
The town hires a professional to do it.
It's certainly not representative of what they have. And I do think
on both of those properties, you're saying, or particular.
Well, okay. I think 88 Newton is closer because
that's closer to the market value.
I think so.
Okay.
Even though it's a much bigger house, it's got a basement, so they have to buy flood insurance, but they have like an outdoor fireplace. It's a beautiful house. If it's a paint job would make that house look brand new.
Okay. All right, so do you have any sales that you have with you or anything that was sold on the street?
The only thing that's sold on
yours?
The only sale is 99 Cambridge, which does...
And that was in 2019 for 900.
Right,
okay.
And that, if you look at the extended period that they said, you could go back to January 2019. So we're looking for something
Yeah, so
under,
2019, but yeah.
yeah, we're looking for something under 900.
Okay, because the amount that you state is the amount in the record for you, so if you want to change the ask.
You can change it. I mean, I
What
can't,
would you like us
I
to change it
I
to?
stated that because of 99 Cambridge, but
Right. So, yeah.
given where we are, you know, I think
You kind of have to,
Okay.
according to the step.
I think
We're
it would be
free
fair to
guys like
assess
that.
it the same as 88.
So you want to be the same as 88? Okay.
Exactly.
As 88 Newton, let me just see what they are at. You said that they're at 820, right?
Well, no, they're actually at 720, their assessment is 507,430, and their appraisal.
Oh, you're looking at the market estimate, I'm sorry, they're appraised at 724,900.
Okay, I can,
So you want to be at somewhere close to that, you said you want to be 725, that's your
I think that's fair, even though they're 3,000 square feet, they are 5 years older, they do have more amenities than we do, outdoor shower, things like that.
Okay.
But I would think that would be a fair trade-off.
Okay. So I just want to make sure we get your ask
Yeah.
right in the record. So
Yeah,
that's-
thank you, I
that number.
appreciate that.
I know. Sure, not at all. Okay, let's see. Anything else any paperwork you want to have added to the record? It looks like you have everything in here. You don't have anything new? Okay.
Who is it?
Gabriel.
I can't go to Restaurant Depot now.
That's on people. All right.
So I think we're good, unless you want me to include, I don't know if I included the field card.
If that's your own field card, we have that.
This is 88 Newton.
I
I think I included it. I did, pretty certain.
29 Newton.
It might be the last one.
88 Newton, yes,
Okay.
in here, that's great. Yeah.
Thank you so
okay.
much.
So yeah, I was going to say, as I mentioned before, I'll be presenting your petition to the majority of the board at a deliberation session for consideration and vote. You'll be notified by mail of the board's decision within 7 days.
Thank you.
All decisions we hope to make in March. We can ask for an extension because I don't know how we're going to.
I honestly, with what's on your plate, I'm not marking my calendar. Don't worry.
So if your appeal was denied, you can come back next year. Okay. So just know that if you're told no and you say, okay, I've got a better case, I'm going to come back and try next year. You can try every year for the next 5 years. But if we do grant you a reduction, you can't come back again until the next reval period in 5 years. So that whatever we set, unless you do construction on your house, then obviously they will,
Right. Thank you so much.
Yep. And if you don't agree with the board's decision, you're welcome to take it to court, which is the
No, thank you.
next step in the process, suing the town, but plenty of people do it, and that'll be in your decision letter. So, okay, great. Thank you. This is the conclusion of your hearing.
Thank you so much.
Do we need your copies here?
I'm sorry, to sign it?
Well, what should we do with his affidavit for tomorrow? Do we just bring
Oh,
it?
yeah, I'll put that in the folder.
Thank you so
Yep,
much.
and this is your
Oh, I
signature
just signed
sheet.
it.
Yeah, well,
Oh, I did sign
You
it.
signed
Did
it.
you both sign it?
And that's
Okay.
your affidavit, honey.
Who signed, did you sign? Oh, yeah, you both signed here. Perfect. Okay.
Thank
We
you.
are good. All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a good rest of your day.
It's so chilly out there.
Yeah, it is. Windy as well.
Oh, my goodness. Deceptively so. I thought it was going to be warmer.
I think,
You want to follow that?
yeah. Mr. Richards? Yes.
We're 11:45 here whenever you're ready.
If you want to send them out to me, like 2 minutes.
Sure.
11:50 already, that goes fast. Okay.
so fast.
It's crazy.
Really. Are you okay, Bruce?
I think I'm good, yeah. Are you, let's see, come in. 126 Old Post Road?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, yes, have a seat over there.
That's it.
And in a minute, I'll just have you sign that when I throw you in. So, I'm just going to read, we are being recorded, so there's a phone here, so if you can just try to, I think it's gonna pick both of us up, but, I'm just going to, read a few things into the record to start your appeal. So, I'm Kathleen Griffin, I'm one of 9 members of the Board of Assessment Appeals. I'm going to hear your appeal today, and as I said, your hearing is also being recorded. I'm going to state a few things for the record, and please correct me if any of these are not correct. So, your appeal number is 636. The property address is 126 Old Post Road. The owner is Beverly G. Veneer. Let's see, the town has your home valued at $486,000, and you are requesting that the value be reduced to $405,200. Is that correct? Okay, great. So now I'm just going to confirm that you are, in fact, the owner of the property or an agent authorized to swear it in. So please state your name for the record and whether you're the owner or the agent.
Beverly Gail Veneer, owner of 126 Old Post Road, Fairfield, Connecticut, Road 6824.
Perfect. Okay, and then I'm just going to ask you to raise your right hand and swear you in. Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Correct.
Okay, great. So I just want you to take, there's a pile of papers right there, so if you can just write your appeal number at the top, 636, right?
636.
Yeah.
I have it right here.
Yeah, 636, and then if you just sign on that first line that you are here, and I'll sign it, after you leave, and that records your testimony.
Today is,
I think it's the second, right? March 2nd?
Yeah. Okay.
Great. So now's your chance to provide testimony as to why you believe the market value of your home on October 1st, 2020 was $405,000, $405,200, and not the value assigned by the town. As you may know, market value is what your house most likely would have sold for on that date had it been on the market. So please try to be as succinct as possible. Good.
Okay. Obviously, the record will reflect that I submitted a number of documents and arguments that initially to the company that Fairfield hired. I never received
municipal revaluation services.
Municipal revaluation. I never received any response. I submitted all of those paperwork. And that particular document that I'm referencing was dated January 10th, 2020. And that should have been 2021.
That's okay.
I apologize.
Sure, that's okay. So did you have an informal hearing?
I did have an informal hearing and nothing changed. I'm going to repeat what I said in these
Sure,
documents.
but you gave them some documents,
When I had the meeting, I gave them the document that I have dated January 10th, and there's another document that's not dated, but I submitted. And in that
and I think those are in my folder. Did you already submit those?
I submitted all of them.
Okay, perfect. So I have all these. Okay.
Well,
or some of them. Yeah,
no, you have all of them.
Yeah.
And so why I'm here is that all of the questions I asked on the January 10th document, none of it was answered. When I spoke with the representative, it was simply a data recorder, data collector. I also speak to someone that is able to assist me with answering my inquiries. She put me onto a coordinator, again, unable to assist me. I submitted the first set of documents in terms of going through all of the properties in my neighborhood, in my code, which the neighborhood subject code is 0096. So that's all relevant information in terms of comparing and contrasting, even though my property is pretty unique in that there's no other property similar to it. Built and completed in 1848, flat roof, very different from anything else. So I don't know how, so I was inquiring as to the following: provide the metrics, comparatives, use the to measure the assessment of my home. Please supply the addresses, details, and data from the comp set. This is in the document that I submitted to
Okay,
January
sure,
10th.
yep.
But that's not on record, so that's why I'm reading it.
Okay.
No one's ever provided me any responses. So what I did was I went on research, so I can, you want me to have all the questions that I have here?
So it sounds like to me, I think you had some questions for municipal valuations back in January. They never, about how they came up with your value, and they didn't answer those questions for you.
No one has answered them.
Right, but that is, no, I hear you. But that's in here, all your questions are in here.
Right,
So if I were to give this to the assessor's office who could answer how they did it,
Right.
then they could call you. So that
Right.
sounds like to me that's the best use of, your time and mine is to have them answer those.
Right, but I want to, so
Okay.
since we're here, since you're looking at market value in terms of assessing what the home will sell for,
Right.
you have to look at what the prospective buyer will look for. And the argument I'm making in the latest document submitted and dated February 15th, 2021, is when you look at Chapter 203 of the Property Tax Assessment of Connecticut.
Okay, sorry, give me 1 sec. I'm going, I see what you submitted in January. Okay, and now I'm going to just see if I can find what you submitted on the 15th. Okay, here, that's here. Okay.
And in that, you look at Connecticut Chapter 203, which regards property tax assessment. It prohibits the assessment increase that's occurred in my property in terms of the reevaluation. It states specifically that the assessor must look at the cost approach to value and the income approach to value. So when you look at that, you look at my neighbors, and I must say, this must be a record in terms of what my words. When you look at all the properties in Old Post Road, the properties that are valued at more than $500,000 were all decreased. The assessment was decreased, thereby decreasing their market value. So you're looking at my home that's 173 years old, and you're looking at my neighbors right next to me. If you're looking at my home from the road, it is to the left. And that address is 144 Old Post Road. That is a 21-year-old home built in 2001. When you look at the value and the approach, that home will cost less to a buyer. That home is 4,000 square feet of living square footage space according to the town record, and my home is 1,978. Obviously, with an old home, it comes more maintenance, it comes less ventilation, it comes more heating, it comes more cost. This home has a livable, finished, complete basement that the town has on record, and I don't. My basement is mud. It will be about at least $100,000 if I wanted to even do anything with that basement. So it's not livable, and it will never be livable. I don't have a two-car garage. He does. I have no garage. He has a pool. He has modern, updated appliances. Everything is modern and new. So when you're looking at my home, you increased, the town of Fairfield increased my assessment almost $39,000. His assessment went down. Every assessment of these properties I'm referencing in here, which I mentioned, 144, 157, and it's all Old Post Road, 175, 197, right, 215, 224, all went down, and there's no way a buyer is going to pay more for my home when you look at the cost approach to value and the income approach to value, which is specifically detailed in Chapter 203. What the town did was, the town has undervalued the home because the home, when I purchased it in 2005, was basically dilapidated. It was not cared for, it was not maintained, it was pretty much a blight. All I did was change the windows, because the windows were cracked, were broken, and I painted it. And that is not suffice for the exponential increase over time. As you can see, in 2000, I believe, 6 or 7, right after I became the owner, it went up about 14.9%, when every home again around me will decrease. You keep decreasing the homes around me, but you keep increasing my value. And if I don't get the results I'm seeking, I will go to court, and I know it's a murder, and I will do that because this is unconscionable. And so I don't have to show, I don't there's no record, but there's no data showing homes similar to mine selling for what this assessor determined.
For 486, we have, 486,
Yeah.
right? And you don't think you would get 486 for your house on the market?
No.
Okay.
And if I do, then I'll sell it tomorrow.
Well, because, a lot of your value is in your land, right?
Right, but so is my other neighbor. He has value in the land. He has more land. Or maybe
But in
similar.
your house, like if you say you said yours was a tear down, do you think you could get?
Well, it couldn't be a tear down because I'm in the historical district and they can't tear down.
Okay.
So that's also a restriction, as I mentioned. I'm also in the flood zone. I'm also abutting commercial entities such as the liquor store. So, and that's what I asked about, how is the subject property depreciation calculated, appraised. It's a older home. The older a home gets, the less valuable it becomes. And I'm looking again at the cost approach. You have to look at what is the square footage of and the value of my home compared with my neighbor's home. And if someone is buying a home, they're going to buy my neighbor's home. Yes, it costs more, as I said in the example. If you look, just like we all do, we look at unit price. You can't look at the total cost. And I said, just like when you go into a store and you buy a 20-pack roll of toilet paper, which is something that we can all relate to at this time, and it's $12, yes, it's more as opposed to if you bought a 10-pack roll of paper and it's $9, you're getting more value with the 20-pack, right? Because per unit, it's less. But if you can't just look at the total price, so the total price, yes, of my neighbor, his market value is more.
Right. Okay.
But its value is more than mine. So no one's buying my home, and even if it's $500,000,
Right.
when you have a home that you're already decreasing. My point is, if you're going to decrease my neighbor's homes, you're going to decrease mine. But you're not going to increase mine by almost $40,000.
Oh, you have steam heat, right? I'm sorry, just to look at. So you have one thing in the paperwork you submitted that said, please clarify the appraised value of $3,400 for an outbuilding and yard item.
Correct. I don't have any of that.
I mean, you do not have a shed or anything on your property?
No.
Okay. So let me let the assessor know that, because that will come off. And what do they have it at?
I mean, yeah, $3,400, I believe. The only thing I could think that was the garage that the prior owner removed in 2001.
Often if garages come down and no one says anything, the assessor's office never, they may miss that. So let me just double check your card.
But it shows in the card that it was removed, I believe.
Oh, so you're not getting taxed for the...
I don't know. All I know I'm getting taxed for an outbuilding that I don't have.
Okay.
I don't have an outbuilding.
Oh, okay, yeah, where's the outbuilding? Down there,
Oh, you want me to show you?
So I was just looking on the card. I see a fireplace being taxed on that.
But that's not out. Oh, look at this right here. Do you want me to show you?
I'm looking on your field card. I just was looking for the, where do you see the outbuilding? Am I missing that?
Yeah, that's what I'm showing you is where the pictures are. You see, I received this from you guys. So this
No,
that's where it's OB- outbuilding and yard items.
Oh, it's one or the other. They put the fireplaces under there. So see where it says code FTL3? And it's also XF, which is building extra features. So if you had an elevator or you have 3 fireplaces, so that section is for both outbuildings and for fireplaces.
See,
so they appraise, so they give you, a 45% good. That's probably for the fireplace, $3,400. So that's what that is. It's not an outbuilding. If you look at the they call it a 2-story fireplace because we can see your chimney, right? That goes up 2 stories. So that's considered a 2-story fireplace. So that's what that is.
You actually don't see the chimney. That's okay.
Oh, on the photograph I see a chimney. Is that a separate chimney for that?
Oh, you mean the top?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, so it doesn't matter if I'm going to use the fireplace or not. It's irrelevant. It's still there. I mean, it's not usable, but okay.
Yeah, that's a good question for the assessor's office. So I'm going to let them know that you didn't get you didn't get a call back from Unival about, how the process was, how the calculations were done.
You need to not use them. They're horrible. Okay. They don't have someone that knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I know it's about the cheapest bidder, but they have to be
Yeah,
to do the work.
I hear you.
Anyway.
Okay, so I think I hear what you're saying, and
I'm meeting with all of you to review all of my paperwork because I just submitted and I feel like
it's all online, and we put everything online so that everybody can see it, the public can see it, certainly all our board members can see it. and I will point the assessor to it as well. I know at my property as well, I had some corrections. They had my porch as finished square footage, and it's not a porch. So I had told Univille about that, and, that didn't get corrected, so I called the assessor's office afterwards.
So you did? Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, no, you can call them anytime, if about questions on your card. I mean, this time of year, they're super busy, but once this process is over, if you still feel like you want to understand more about your card, they're the people who are there to answer questions about your card. How does it, how the system works, or even if, what does this code mean or not. So,
okay.
Yeah, they're the ones to put that together. And it's a math appraisal, right?
So basically, if I'm not happy with this project, then it is the next process.
Yes, so I was just going to say, assuming that, you gave me everything in your file already, so we're good with that. I was just going to read you, how we sort of wrap up. So I say, thanks for presenting your petition. I will take your case, your petition to a majority of the board at a deliberation session for consideration and vote. You'll be notified by mail of the board's decision within 7 days of the decision. All decisions will be made in March, we hope, but we have so many, we have 650, so long. If your appeal is denied, you can come back next year. If you were granted a reduction, you can't come back until the next revow period in 5 years. And if you don't agree with the board's decision, you can take it to the next step, which is to take it to court, which is totally within your right. And instructions on how to appeal in court will come in your decision letter. So there'll be a paragraph in the letter that says you have to, say that you want to go to the next step and appeal it to court within, I don't know if it's 30 days or 60 days, there's a time limit. Okay. So just when you get your decision letter, make sure you read what that time limit is, and, and then you can take it to the next step.
And with that, does the decision include how they came about making that decision?
No, usually not in your letter. It will just be whether whether your appeal was granted in part. Say the board decides they're going to give you half of what you asked for, or whether your appeal was denied. That will be all that's in the letter. But all the deliberations will be recorded, so you can go back and listen to the discussion afterwards if you if you would like to do that. Yeah. But with 650, we can't talk. And you have 9 board members, we may not all agree, right? 5 may think one thing and 4 another, or however many are at the session. So, yeah, there'll be a vote.
Since I don't trust that the board will review all of my documents, I will read some of it in the record, if that's okay with you.
Sure, you're my last one for today, so good.
Okay, I apologize.
Last one for this morning. I'm ordering 4 o'clock.
It's okay. I mean,
So there's something else you want to read into the record?
Because, well, there's a lot here that I wrote, and I obviously will not be able to do that because
have those have been submitted already?
Everything that you have, I have.
You have. Okay, you don't have anything new.
No, because nothing has been dealt with, nothing has been answered, and I don't know how this process is working in terms of. It seems discriminatory that my property continues to increase because at one point the town obviously it decreased that value based on the blight that the property presented, based on maybe the relationship that the prior owner had, because the prior owner was there for like 50 years and everyone knew him. I don't know what it's based on, but all I know is that it's questionable.
Right. So I can tell you the board, we primarily look at market value, and so I think what you said to me is there's really no other homes like yours that have sold that you would compare yourself to.
But they have to look at market value, but they also have to look at you cannot exponentially increase a value, an assessment when everything around it has been decreased. When those homes, I know my neighbor's home would sell for more than $840. Mm-hmm. It will sell for at least $1 million. When you decrease it from what he bought it for $850 and now it's for $840. And then I did attend the beach meeting where the person in charge of the municipal value, whatever it's called, the company
municipal evaluation.
Municipal evaluation that Fairfield hired, said that all the values in the beach area went up because of COVID and when in New York City they were coming to the Gold Coast, Fairfield.
Right.
It was one of the towns in which people moved. Mm-hmm. And the values went up, but not around me. Not my direct neighbors, except for myself. That's problematic, especially when there's no way that home of 4,000 square feet with a pool, 21 years old, with everything, you just walk and you do absolutely nothing. And has an attic, has a basement, and finished, complete. Has modern amenities, has everything you can think of in terms of, what you call it, I can't even speak.
That's okay. So you're saying you think 144 is underappraised?
Listen, I'm not here to discuss, yeah, it is underappraised, but that's up to you guys. I'm not going to ask for you to rate my neighbors. I'm asking to decrease mine. And the reason I'm bringing my neighbors up is a comparison, because if you're looking at the value, that does not make sense. This is to go down when mine goes up.
Yeah, we want everybody, I mean, our goal as a board is to try to get fair for
I use
everybody.
him, but I also use, as I said, 157, which is across the street, which does not have flood zone restriction. It's not in the flood zone plan. It does not have what commercial entities. So it has more in terms of value than my home. It's newer. All these homes are fairly.
Yeah, well, yours is older.
Yeah, no, all of them are newer than mine, but my neighbor next to me is obviously the newest, right? So we're talking about, for example, 157, the assessment went down. Again, they all went down. They all were reduced. And now they're saying the market value for that home is now $767. There's no way that home is selling for $767. It's selling, again, for $1 million. It had an addition, 6 years ago? And you guys, that's when I challenged you guys, and you guys reduced his assessment again. Even after he had copper gutters, new veranda, modern updated kitchen, bathrooms, added two.
I'm sorry, that's 157 you're talking about?
Yes. Extensive addition of 2 additional floors, new siding, new windows, copper gutters, new veranda, modern updated kitchen. It is a FEMA compliance, so not a flood zone. Does not, as I said, does not trust commercial entities. Has a 2-car garage. Has 4 bedrooms, 3.5. I mean,
I hear you.
It keeps going down. They keep going down. So I mentioned 144. I mentioned 157. I mentioned 197. That is astronomical. They purchased a home in 2003 when that was kind of the height of the market for $900,000, and now the appraised value is $786. That's 197 Old Post Road.
197.
Okay, that assessment was reduced at least $40,000 when mine was increased almost $40,000. Not in a flood zone, so does not deal with that expense, not abutting commercial entities, and has a garage with a loft. And as I say, so should I expect an assessment reduction if I were to build a garage with a loft? Similar to 197 Old Post Road. That is an answer. And so that's that. I'm going to tell you the other one. This one is striking as well, I believe, in that you have a property that just sold. So sold within the time that this assessment was supposedly made in October 2020. That property is 131 South Benson Road. That's in the same code of 00996, which is the end
That's
of
the Turney area, yeah.
No, that's that's South Benson, where it's the corner of Old Post Road and South Benson.
Right, they describe the neighborhood as neighborhood 97 or whatever that is, 96, 97, they call it a Turney Road neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of land value.
Oh, yeah, 00996, I think it was 99, yeah. So that home was assessed, was $496,860. It's reduced now to $450. The house sold in 2020.
For $600,000 it sold.
Right, $599. And the assessment went down. The market value.
Right, they're on the corner there.
That's
They're appraised at the town has them at 644, and they paid 600. Right? They paid 600 in April of 2020. Right, and the town valued them at 644,200 in the reval. And they're over what they paid, a little bit over what they paid for it.
And their assessment went down significantly.
Right, but their market value, their appraised value is pretty accurate with their sale price.
Okay, when the owner of the evaluation municipal, whatever it's called, the place, the people that you guys hired, they should not have hired, he said that you have to look at the assessment value. He kept stressing in that meeting that's recorded, you cannot look at the market value because you have to look at the assessment value because the market value will change depending on what the mill rate is. You don't know what the mill rate will be at this time, so therefore you have to focus on the assessment. He said, I don't I want you to look at the number in terms of the percentage, not at the market value. So now it seems as if the barometer and the parameters and the metrics are changing. That's disturbing. You have to pick one and go with one, not all over the place. One is I'm looking at the increase in the assessment because he said there's no correlation necessarily, which is nonsense. That the increase in the assessment correlates with the market value. We all know that's not true. So the higher my assessment, more likely the higher my market value, and therefore the higher my taxes. So that's why I'm stressing assessment. Now, of course, market value is important because people, that's your ultimate
Well, your
number.
assessment is 70% of your market value.
Right.
So they're exactly the same thing. If one is 7, yeah, they're exactly the same, right? We have to take your appraised value divided by 0.7, and that's your assessed value. You pay taxes on your assessed value.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, and appraised value is more like market value.
So again, that house is a garage of 131 South Madison Road, that was reduced to 50,000 and double the square footage of mine.
Yeah, that's another old house, that's an antique.
Right, but it has been almost a half acre larger than mine, now it's a flood zone, has a garage and has full bridges. And then another anomaly that you guys have here is the 856 Riverside Drive. That shows that it was built at a later date, like a earlier date, I should say. But that was extensively redone. Basically, the guy took it all the way to the floor. Because obviously
he's appraised at close to $1 million. He's appraised at $978.
That's
and he paid $900 in April.
Right, but that assessment went down again.
Right. But it's market value. So okay. No, I mean I think I understand it. You've given me a lot of good understanding here, and it's clear from your informals that you didn't get the answers to the questions that you wanted in your document there. So I will certainly pass that on to the assessor's office. We're giving them, sheets and you reflect to them. So I think because you didn't hear back from municipal valuations, you want to speak with the assessor's office about the process. Is that?
I mean, but ultimately I want to reduce.
Yeah. Oh no, that's our job. That's our job to look at what you're asking for, right, and the reason that you're stating that you want the reduction. So I think I understand that.
Yes, and I would like them to
in terms of how it happened, that would be from
and then I would like to respond via email so I can see something in writing as opposed to hearing their voice and having to remember all the information that they may give me.
Okay, so I can request that.
Because if I need to appeal this in court, I need to have that document.
Okay, no. I hear you. Okay. I think we're good, right?
I guess.
Chilly outside?
Really?
If it's chilly out there this morning.
No, it's not chilly, it's freezing.
I know.
It's windy. It's so windy.
Yeah.
You feel like your house is moving. Maybe because my
last night my windows, I was like, what is that? Is there an animal bumping up against my house? And for sure. I'll hopefully get better.
March comes in like a lion and leaves like a lamb, right?
That is true. And we thought, when we got those 50-degree days, we thought it was over, but that is obviously not the case.
Well, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay, thanks. This is the end of the March 2nd Board of Assessment Appeals AM hearing for conference room / bridge number 3. It is 12:25 p.m.